This is Dr. Andrew Jones. In this edition of Veterinary Secrets, you're going to learn what to do if your pet is choking. So what do you do if your pet is not breathing or you suspect, your dog or your cat is not breathing? Yes, they need emergent or urgent veterinary care, but if you're minutes away from an emergency veterinary clinic, it really is up to you to solve that problem. And that really can mean life and death for your dog or your cat. In terms of what causes it, why would this happen? One of the most common thing I saw in veterinary practice was a dog who's being thrown a ball that's a little bit too small, that's a little bit slippery, that can just lodge in the back of their throat. Or they've eaten too much of one thing and it's there sitting in the back of their throat. And it's really clear. Your dog or your cat, these dogs in particular, they're showing signs of breathing distress. Like it's really hard to breathe. There's something going on. So you can hear this sort of deep labor noise. They're trying to breathe. They're trying to get air in there, and they can't. So there's something going on in the back of their throat. Or the other worst case scenario, you're just coming right into the room and you look down. There's your dog lying there not moving. They're not breathing. You suspect perhaps their heart isn't even beating. So in terms of going through the steps of CPR, and this section here that we're focusing on is just what to do if they're choking and they've stopped breathing. What can you do? First, if they're lying there not moving, you need to know, is their airway open or not? Is it obstructed? So that means first, you're putting your hand in front of their nose or mouth. Do you feel any air moving? We know Jesse's lifting his head. We know he's okay. But if he wasn't moving, that's a possibility. You stick your ear, listen to his heart. Do you feel his heart beating? Do you feel his chest rising, moving up and down? Now that that's happening, you need to know, is that airway patent or open or not? So put your hand around his muzzle, and then you're going to put your mouth right over top of his nose, and I'm going to do with Jesse here, and then blow into it. You're going to do 2 breaths, and in doing that, you're going to look over to the side, and when you blow, you should actually see his chest wall rise. If his chest wall is rising, then we know his airway is open and patent. If his chest wall isn't rising, blow again. Did I see it or not? You got to really check and know. You're a good boy, Jesse. If it rose, then great. Then his airway's open. Then you can go continue through the steps of CPR that I discussed in the last video. But if it isn't open, then we know that we got to do something else. We've got to figure out what's causing that obstruction. So then look into your pet's mouth, right? Open his mouth, have a good look inside. What's in there? Put your finger in the back. You need to sweep in the back of his throat. Is there a ball or something deep back in there? It's kind of the first thing you'd suspect. But can you feel something in there? And if you can suspect that, if it's something right there at the very base of his tongue, right here in the back of his throat, can you hook your index finger behind it and pull it out? That's your first big thing. Get that thing out of there if there's a little ball in there. But if it's sitting there back, and I had that experience in veterinary practice, where we knew there was a dog that came in choking, and we couldn't get that ball out by doing a finger sweep. The next thing you're trying to do is what's another way of getting it out? Is by doing a procedure called the Heimlich. Good boy, Jesse. And what the Heimlich is that we're putting force on your pet's diaphragm. We're putting force on the dog's diaphragm. Yes, we are. Jesse. We're putting force in his diaphragm, which putting force in the back of his throat, which is helping expel whatever's in the back of his throat. So the easiest way to do it in our pets is by using the force of gravity with them. So we're trying to put force in the back of the diaphragm. In us, it's just under our rib cage, as it is in our dogs. But we're going to do that by putting them upside down. I'm going to try it here on Jesse, see how it works. We might have to try it again. Then I'll also show you how you can do it if you're unable to lift your dog up. So with Jesse here, I would just I'm going to hold him upside down here. Good boy, Jesse. His back against my back. You're seeing his bum. And I'm going to, see where my hands are locked together? That's right underneath behind his rib cage. I'm going to put 5 sharp thrusts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm a fair amount of force. And then I've also hung him upside down with gravity. Then I'm going to check his mouth. Is whatever is in there, does it come out? Sweep it. And I'm going to feel, is he breathing again? No. Then I'm going to also follow that up with at least 2 short breaths, putting my hand around his muzzle. Does his chest rise? If it doesn't, then I follow that up again and repeat that Heimlich. So if you have a big dog, he's too large for you to pick up, such as my bigger dog Lewis, who's 100 pounds, then you could try the Heimlich by having him on their side. And I want you to see if you can get your hand right around underneath their belly though. Right, so if you see my right hand here, my left hand here, and I'm going to lock them together. So I've just got them up in here, just in behind their rib cage and the top part of their stomach. You can feel those ribs. And I'm going to pull that in. I'm going to pull his stomach in my hands with my back up, my belly is right up against his backbone. And using that force, I'm going to pull in and up. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. And in doing though, I put quite a lot of force on his stomach, because you need to put a lot of force to then get additional force on his diaphragm, which then can potentially expel whatever's in the back of his throat. So that is the principle of performing the Heimlich. Preferably, I said, you're hanging your pet upside down and you're putting the force in the abdomen that way. Secondly, if you can't hold them upside down, they're on their side, you're locking your hands together, pulling, it's sort of an inward, upward motion. You need to pull in towards yourself, but also push up, getting just underneath the rib cage. And then after you've done that 5 times, check again. Are they breathing? Look at them. If they're not breathing, put your finger in the back of their throat, do a sweep. Is there something there? No. Put your hand around his muzzle, blow into his 2 mouth-to-nose respirations. Are they breathing? And you need to, and if air goes in, great, then you go through the steps of CPR again, where you can start doing cardiac massage. If he's not breathing, you repeat it again. And there is the principle of the Heimlich. Thank you for watching this edition of Veterinary Secrets. What I want you to do right now is click that link in the box below, and I'll send you my free books and videos on how to heal your pets at home with my top natural remedies.